What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle with Julian. Today I'm going to be talking about how much credit do you actually need? And the answer really depends on what are your goals. It's for personal reasons. The only reason why you want to have credit in the first place is most likely just to buy a house or buy a car. Most people don't ever buy a house cash. They always use their credit to leverage, and it really doesn't take that much credit to be able to buy a house. But at the same time, to get the best interest rate, you want to have the thickest profile and the most versatile profile that you can have, right? And there's a lot of basic tips to go over when you're trying to build your credit, and I'm not going to get too much into that. The only goals people really have that don't have a business with credit is just to build that file up as thick as possible, as good as possible, so you can get the best interest rates on things like a house or a vehicle. You really just want high limits just to grow your file and show banks that you know what to do with money in case you ever need it for anything. But if you don't have a business, like high limits, you really shouldn't be using that on consumer goods, obviously. If you don't got the money to buy the Gucci shirt, you shouldn't be buying the Gucci shirt. Unless it's like, a special occasion, it's someone's birthday, you got a bonus next month, you're gonna pay off that credit card within 30 days, no big deal. But other than that, you shouldn't get the high limits on the credit cards for personal reasons if you're just using it for personal goods. Okay, that's my recommendation on the personal side. There really is no limit if you're just using it for personal. But if you're getting into the business side, this is what I could really relate to and what I would recommend for you. On the business side is, yeah, you still want all those things. You still want the low interest rates. You still want to be able to go finance a house easily, finance a car, and be approved for high limits. You want all those things on the business side. But one of the main differences is if you have a business or you plan on buying a business or expanding a business is the additional, every dollar you get in additional funding, the higher and higher the limits that you get, you can use all of that credit to be able to invest in your business, use that to leverage your business, use that to grow your business, expand your business, and hopefully generate more profits at the end of the day. That's the goal for any business out there, is to generate more revenue, more profits, right? What my recommendation would be, and I can say this honestly out of personal experience, right? Because 6 months ago, I needed about what I thought was 20 grand, right? So I got about 50 grand in funding, but that was between personal and business, which it should really, my goal should have been at least 50K in business, not 50K in between. So that's the first lesson. Second lesson is you really want to have 10x whatever you think you need, right? So if you need 20 grand, you really want to shoot for having 200 grand. You need to get credit when you don't need credit, because when you need credit, utilization is off, it's a huge headache, you're already in a hole, and it's hard to get out of the hole, basically, right? And the banks don't want to lend to you. They don't want to lend to you when you need it. They won't lend to you when you don't need it, when you have the low inquiries, when you have the low utilization. That's when the banks want to lend to you. So get it when you don't need it and shoot for at least 10x. Not even on just some Grant Cardone stuff like 10x, just a 10x. I'm going to explain why 10x, right? So the reason is, let's say I need 20 grand, right? And I shoot for 200 grand, 10x that. That 200 grand, let's say I use that 20, that's only 10% of what's available to me. So let's say I even use double that, right? I use 40 grand. Then I'm at a utilization of 20%, right? Still, even in that case scenario, even if it was on the personal side, right? Let's say I had 200 grand in personal, I'm still below that 30% threshold. So I could still go out and apply for new funding, right? And that's the position you want to be in. You never want to be to where you're at 50 plus or even 30 plus % utilization, because you're not able to go and get more funding if you need it. But whatever you need, you want to be at like 20% or less. So if you need 20 grand, if you spend 20 grand, you want to be at like 20% or less, or ideally 10% or less of whatever your total limit is. That's gonna put you in the best position. Because I can tell you guys right now, nothing in business ever goes as planned. That's just my personal experience so far. And I feel like a lot of other people can relate to that as well. But nothing in business ever goes as planned. You should definitely be prepared for double whatever you anticipate on spending, because there will be hiccups, there will be things that come up out of nowhere, and you just want to be prepared for anything, and really prepared for war if you're trying to start a business, because that's really what you're going into, essentially, I think. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. Drop a quick video. If it helped you out in some way, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace and stay hustling.